Hey there, tech fans. Today I'd like to show you the brand new GOOLOO A7 jump starter and air compressor kit. Now this unit is unlike any other jump starter and air compressor out there because it has features that nobody else has thought about yet, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the way I'd like to do this overview is to start with an unboxing just to show you everything that comes with the product. And boy, GOOLOO gives you everything you'll possibly need to use this unit right out of the box. And then I'll talk about the features because there are a lot of companies that make jump starters and other companies make air compressors, but this one's unique for so many different reasons because it's the latest model from GOOLOO, and again, it includes a lot of engineering changes that I think you'll really appreciate. But first, let's get to the unboxing. So when you first open up the box, you'll find the A7. Now, you'll notice right away it's a little larger than most other jump starters, and that's because it's tremendously powerful. It has 6,000 amps, 6,000 amps of starting power, which means every type of gas vehicle and diesel vehicles up to 10 liters, you can jumpstart with this. You can even jumpstart a car that has pretty much a dead battery when you put it in boost mode. Included also are the jumper clips, right? And this plugs into the side of the unit, and there's a boost button right there you can use. But they've also improved this, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but they're heavy-duty clips. They've got, unlike a lot of jump starters, they've got connectors on both sides. Some of the jump starters I've tested only have connectors on one side, which means you're getting half the connection surface to your battery, so that's kind of cool. They've included a bag you can use for keeping everything organized and protected in your car, and I like this because, again, there's a lot of stuff that comes along with the A7, and you want to have a place to put it, close up the bag, put it in your car, and that way you'll have this with you if you ever have a problem on the road. It's a tire inflator as well, so you've got this heavy-duty hose that you'll screw into the side of it, and the end has a pretty standard end cap that'll fit over your tire air valve on your car. Also included is a bag of adapters you can use with that hose to inflate a bunch of other things, like maybe a raft or an air mattress. There's an adapter in here that you can use with a football or a basketball, and two smaller adapters that will help you inflate the tires in some of the new bicycles and other equipment that have a smaller air stem. Also included is a charging cable. It's a USB-A to USB-C. Now, on the side of this, there's a USB-A port and a USB-C port. Both of those can be used as an external power supply to charge your phone, your tablet, whatever. But the USB-C port on here is bidirectional, which means you charge the unit through that USB-C port by connecting the USB-A end of this cable to a wall charger and plugging the USB-C end of it into the unit. You can also use this cable to charge external devices by plugging this into the USB-A and the USB-C into your phone. And then finally, and this is one of the unique features, you'll find another hose. And you might be wondering, well, gee, what's that hose for? Well, unlike a lot of jump starters and air compressors that only use this hose to actually inflate things, this comes with a standard size hose. And again, the reason that's important is because you can see the diameter of these two hoses. You can only force so much air through a hose of this size. This one gives you a lot more volume of the air coming through the hose, so it inflates air mattresses and other things much more quickly. Plus, this one is needed because you've got higher pressure. By the way, this unit can deliver 160 psi. Most other units on the market, 120, 130, maybe 150 if you're lucky. So 160 means you can inflate gigantic tires very, very quickly using this hose right here. But this hose plugs into the other side. So you've actually got two different air compressors inside the unit. One that's high pressure that's going to inflate, like I mentioned, big tires. And the other one is high volume, which is going to quickly inflate things like rafts or other things that you may plug in. And then there's a ton of tips here that you can use to inflate everything on that end. And then the final bonus is they put two ports on the end of it right there. One of them is for inflating something, and the other one is for deflating something. So one of them is going to push air out, the other one is going to pull air in. And you can use that to deflate things at the end of the season. So maybe you've got a raft that you have to pull the air out of because you don't want to put it in the basement fully inflated. And how do you do that? Well, it's tricky if you don't have something like this. But this will pull the air out of that raft and shrink it down. You can also use it to shrink bags. So if you've got some of those storage bags you like to pull the air out of, or you're putting sweaters away and you've got one of those big bags that you want to shrink down, you can use this to evacuate the air. All right, so that's the, oh, I forgot. There's an instruction manual that explains everything you could possibly want to know about the A7. So always read through this before you use it, because even though it's an incredibly simple product to use, having the manual means if you read through this, you're going to find things out about it that maybe aren't intuitive. All right, so let's talk more about the specifications. Like I mentioned, it's easy to carry with you. It's got a nice handle on the top of it. You got everything you need to inflate a tire, to inflate a basketball, to start your car, to charge your external devices. Also included is a 500 lumen light on the side of it that has 3 modes. So it's got on, It's got SOS and it's got strobe. And that's really handy because if you've got to inflate a tire, you definitely want to be able to see what's going on. And the nice thing is, GOOLOO thought about that, and they actually put the attachment, the port right there for the hose, on the same end of the unit where the flashlight is. So when you set this down on the ground, you're going to be using the hose to inflate your tire and have a light to be able to locate that valve stem on the tire. So that was pretty cool. In addition to that, the internal battery is incredibly large. It's 24,000 milliampere hours. That's a lot of power. That means you're going to have plenty of charge to inflate a bunch of tires, maybe up to 12 tires on a full charge. You'll have plenty of power to charge your phone or your tablet. If you're out camping, take it with you. You've got a flashlight on the side of it. You can inflate your air mattress on this end. I really like the fact that they've got dual air pumps in there. One, again, is a high pressure for your tires. The other one is a high volume to inflate other inflatables that need a lot more air quickly. The final thing I'll mention on this is the display in the front right here, which is really pretty magical. So let me turn it on. You can see what's going on there. You'll see it's a beautifully large display that gives you all the information you need to understand about anything you're doing. And the really nice part about this is it'll let you know what your tire pressure is before you start pumping it up. So the other day I had to go out, one of my tires was low because I got a message on my dashboard and I wasn't sure which one it was. So I went around to each tire and connected this to the tire. 3 of them were right at where the pressure they should be at, and the 4th one was really low, and I knew that because I could tell on the front of this that it was low. I didn't waste time trying to pump up all the tires. Another thing it does is let you know the air pressure output on the other side, so you can adjust up and down depending on what your tire pressure needs to be. And always check that before you start pumping up your tire. And the way you can find that typically is in your owner's manual in the car, or a lot of modern cars, if you open up the driver door, you'll find a label down there on the actual door frame that tells you the pressure you need for the tires. Now be careful. A lot of cars have a different pressure in the rear than they do in the front if you're front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. So always check that and make sure, number 1, you know what the pressure is, and number 2, that it's the same pressure in both sets of tires. And then finally, I just really like the fact that GOOLOO is constantly innovating. This company has got a lot of different jump starters on the market at different capacity levels and sizes. This one, to me, is the last one I'll need. It has everything I could possibly need in a jump starter, in an air compressor, in a flashlight. 500 lumens. You know how bright that is? It's incredibly bright. It's got internal battery capacity that allows me to pump a tire up, jumpstart my car, charge my external tablets, all in a single charge, and I can fast charge it through the USB-C port on the side from a standard wall charger, which I couldn't ask for any more. So that's pretty much all I had for today. I think they did a wonderful job with this new A7 product, and if you're looking for something as a surprise gift for somebody, you can't go wrong with a product like this, because if they're driving a car, this is pretty much your safety net out there on the road that gives you all the things you need if you have an event to sort that out on the road and get back on your way. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you found this review helpful. I think it's a great product, and I think you're going to like it a lot too. So we'll see you next time, and until then, stay nerdy.